back to my YouTube channel. In case you're new here, my name is Deborah Sachi Catherine, and I am very excited to have you in my channel today. Thank you very much for clicking on this video, and do not forget to click on the subscribe button so when I post my next video, you'll be the first person to be notified about it. And to my existing subscribers, thank you very much for, being part of the family. So if you're watching this video like right now, it means that I am 20 years old because I will be turning 20 on the 4th of March 2022. And so I'm very excited, even though I might not look all yay, oh my god, in the clouds. Kind of excited, but trust me, I am. And I'm very nervous about this new chapter of my life. It's very crazy, and I just want to say I'm very grateful for God and the universe for every single thing that they have done. I am super grateful. I can't believe I am turning 20. Sometimes, if I'm being honest, there are times that I just sat down and I just cry. I'll just cry to myself, and I'm just thinking, like, am I really ready to be 20? Like, am I really ready to face the world and stuff like that? It's just so very scary. Though I have learned immensely this 19 years of my life living on Earth, and I just want to share my experiences with you because I know that someone out there will really need this advice to also be able to walk through his or her teenage age with confidence. I have written down 20 lessons that I would love to share with you. Number one, do not be afraid to speak out for what you believe in more often. So do not be ashamed of standing up for what you believe in. Growing up as a kid, I used to be very scared about, like speaking up for myself or, standing up for something I believe in because I was always scared of being bullied, or I'm scared that my friends wouldn't want to play with me again. And when I grew older, I realized that you need to stand up for what you believe in more. If you believe in gender equality, you need to stand up and speak out for whatever you believe in, because nobody will give you what you want. You definitely have to fight for it. You definitely have to show and prove it to them that you really deserve this thing, that you really deserve to be heard. So if you keep on keeping quiet, people will continue to step on you, and that is something I'm still learning how to speak up for myself, but I'm so glad that I'm much better than I used to be 12 years ago, So I'm just so glad that I can speak up for myself and not allow someone bully me into doing something that I do not want to do. Number two is you shouldn't really care about having much friends, because as time goes by, you realize that it doesn't really matter. You should always choose quality over quantity. It doesn't really matter if you have 1,000 friends. When you are in a problem, how many of those friends can turn up for you? So when I was growing up, I used to call everybody my friend, because I just wanted to be affiliated with someone. I just wanted to belong to a crew. And I'm just trying to tell you that you shouldn't do the same thing that I did. Do not. It's just so much headache. The more you grow, the more your friendship circle continues to reduce. And when you have 3 loyal friends, then you are the luckiest person. Even if you have 1, you are the luckiest person ever. So all of these things about you wondering about why they don't want to be your friends, when you grow much older, you would realize that none of that really matters. So just focus on the, positive and the good things rather than focusing on who is or who isn't your friend. So just try your possible best to keep your circle very small, because once you keep your circle very big, you start to get a lot of trash getting into your circle, and I'm very sure you wouldn't want that for yourself. The third lesson is no one stays forever, no matter how much you want them to stay in your life. No one stays forever. So when it's time for someone to leave your life, please do not force something into happening. If it's time for them to leave your life, just let them go, So if they're meant to be in your life, one way or the other, the universe will bring them back to your life. The fourth lesson that I have learned in my 19 years of age is that teenage love, oh my god, teenage love is the most stupidest thing that I've ever seen. But we all did it, actually. birthday. So we thought that, oh my God, that was my Romeo. He was my Romeo, actually. I thought he was my Romeo. He was my Prince Charming. He would come get me on that horse, and we would ride to the castle at, Disney or whatever it is. He would just give me that sleepers. I will be the Cinderella, and then he will just give me my missing sleepers, and then we live happily ever after, and we get married, and we have children, and then we go, oh, and then we die. Then
2,000 years later.
and you find out that all of that is a scam. That kind of shenanigan kind of love is not real. So, and I don't know about other countries, but here in Nigeria, you hardly see a situation where you dated someone in high school and then you guys end up together. It's not really possible. I'm not saying that they are not rare cases, but not everybody's lucky. So you just don't put your heart in it. Just have fun. Like, don't see it as a do or die affair. Because I used to also feel like I will get married to the person I used to love, like in high school.
Wow.
But look at it. I I am not together with him, and I don't even know where all those people I used to love are right now. But then I'm still leaving, so we just tend to feel like teenage love, will lead to something, but it doesn't. So my advice to you is you shouldn't really take anything personal. If you have someone that you're thinking you're gonna end up with, sorry to bust your bubbles, boo. Honey, you're not ending up with that. You're not ending up with that guy. So just let it go. Fifth lesson that I have learned is also not to trust people easily. There are situations where people trusted me with their secrets, and then somehow I slipped, and then I told someone, and then that someone told someone. So what I'm just trying to say is karma is real. Karma is a bitch. Whatever you do, it is definitely going to come back to you. So do not trust people easily. Do not go to the extent of not knowing someone and then try telling them all your secrets and stuff like that. I have done that, and then that energy was not reciprocated, and it broke me down. And then I realized that maybe I shouldn't really trust people. I'm not so much of a pro in not trusting people, but I'm trying to learn to be much better. I'm not trusting people and then just giving up my whole life story to people who do not even care. And I'm just listening so they could tell someone or something like that. So do not trust easily, and make sure someone aims your trust before you tell them personal things about yourself. So the sixth lesson is learn how to keep your mouth shut. How many of you were supposed to do something very huge, and then you ended up telling someone, and then it didn't go as planned? Raise your hand if that has ever happened to you, because I can't be the only one. So that is something that I have learned, and I have noticed it in my life that whenever I tell people things that have not yet happened in my life, then it doesn't end up happening. So that's, to be very honest here, it's just wait till it happens. If you got something, if you got a scholarship, if you got money, or you got a job offer, until it is certified, until you know that you have gotten it, it is yours, then I don't think you should, tell people about it. Just make sure it is certified and you have gotten that thing first before you announce to people that, oh yeah, I've gotten this thing. Not that, okay, you're just like, oh yeah, I'm about to travel to the UK, and so I'm just preparing my visa and stuff like that. There are lots of bad people out there. You do not know what will happen, especially here in Nigeria, where people are not so much very happy about your success. So when you just tell someone something, the next thing that happens is you just see that your plans go up, they go south. So in order to avoid that, keep your mouth shut. So the seventh lesson that I have learned is learning to love myself. It is self-love. And if you do not have a healthy relationship with yourself, then you cannot be able to have healthy relationship with others. So true love starts when you start to love yourself. I used to always be obsessed about someone loving me, like, oh wow, I just really need that kind of Cinderella in the movie kind of love, that kind of one, Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice kind of love. And I'm just like, when? Oh God, when is my Prince Charming coming? So I just realized that no Prince Charming is coming. I need to learn how to love myself because if I cannot love myself, then even when the right person comes, I wouldn't be able to love them. So self love is key. Before you can love any other human being, you must learn how to love yourself. You must learn how to cherish and give yourself self care. Um, the number eight thing that I have learned is that you should always take red flags as a sign to lead in relationships and also friendships. So when someone gives you a red sign, just take it as a yes of oh they are not interested in you. Today they love you and the next minute they don't. That is a sign because true love will never be confusing. And the same thing comes with friendship. You are not obligated to stay in that relationship or friendship. You always have the right to move because no one is holding your hand. No one is putting handcuffs on you to say you must stay in this relationship or friendship. So if that person is not giving you exactly what you want, you are always and always free to leave that relationship, period. So the ninth lesson that I have learned is that you sometimes you are the bad guy in people's story and there is nothing that you can do about it, not just in their stories, but also practically in life. Sometimes we're bad people. And when we're supposed to help people, we don't. Why? Because of this kind of fear of them not of them doing much more better than we do. Or sisters, sometimes we have feelings and the moment we start to accept it that we accept our negative part and we don't try to run away from it. And then we just try to understand that this is just a part of ourselves that has not been given love. Then things start to change. And then you start to see yourself as, oh, yeah, this is a bad character of mine. I seem to be a very bad person. How then do I change? The way you can change is learning how to accept that this is you. After you accept that this is a bad character of yours, then you embrace it with so much love and compassion. I always say this, you cannot entirely defeat your ego. But once you learn how to live with it, once you learn how to master your ego, how to master your demons, you have power over it and you become the master of it. The 10th lesson that I have learned is that it is not always about you. You are not the main character in everyone's life. So everyone in the game of life, everyone has their own things to deal with. And so you thinking that you should always be the main character in everyone's story is not right. That is kind of very superficial and also very proud of you to say that because obviously everyone has their life to deal with and you cannot always be what everyone focuses on all the time. Although it might feel very nice to have all the attention, to have everyone, looking at you, not just looking at you, but giving you attention, listening to you and stuff like that. But everyone has their own busy life, and it's not always that you get to be the main character in everyone's story and stuff like that. Most of the time, you never even get a chance to be a main character in someone's story. And it's not because they are bad people, it's because they also are caught up in their own lives. So the moment you realize that, then you just stop feeling entitled to being the center of people's lives. The 11th lesson that I've learned in my life is that you are a soul having a human experience, and our main purpose here on earth is to love. Basically, that is just why we are here. And my friend Shimi actually helped me see things this way. When I started to understand that we are souls and we just came here like more of like tourists, we just came here to experience what it feels like to be here on earth, to be humans. Then I start to see everyone with compassion. Then I start to understand that we are all each other. That is to say, I am you and you are me. So when I started seeing it that way, it made me understand that what we are here for is to love and be loved. I'm not so different from the beggar out there in the street. And the number 12 thing, if I'm being very honest, I'm someone who gets guilt tripped very easily. When someone asks me to do something for them and I end up not doing it. If you don't want to do something, do not do it because you want to please someone. At the end of the day, you displease yourself, and that is very hypocritical. Do not do that, no matter what it is. For instance, parents are telling you to be a doctor, and then you are wanting You are so fascinated by art. You want to be a lawyer. Please try your possible best to speak up for yourself and do what makes you happy so that you will then enjoy it. There is no meaning or there's no essence to work without passion. So if I am working and then I don't have passion for it, then the idea of my work has been defeated. So do what makes you happy. Always stand up for what you believe in. And you might just be as surprised as how people will begin to respect you because of the boundaries you have set for them. The things that I have also tried to appreciate more in my life is appreciating solitude. We need to appreciate solitude. I think we don't really like being with ourselves, but there's just this kind of this connection that we have with ourselves. Imagine you being in a situation where your phone is not there, you're not with your friend, and then you're forced to be actually on your own with your thoughts, just you. I'm very sure some people would actually run mad because not everybody loves solitude, not everybody wants to have an introspect with themselves. But I feel like it's in order for us to have healthier lives, we need to learn how to communicate with ourselves more and then just appreciate solitude. Just be silent for no reason. Just sit down and then try not to think about anything. Just appreciate nothingness. And sometimes I do that, although it's very hard, but it's something that I've learned that once you cultivate that character, it changes everything for you. So the number 14 thing, you should learn how to take risks as much as possible. Don't restrict yourself. One of the things that I've learned, and I'm still learning presently, is learning how to take risks. Just try anything. Just do anything, that you just find fascinating, or just you need to learn how to fail. Fail, 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 fail. Because great scientists like Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein would have not gotten the success to whatever it is that they contributed to in science if they had just, said, oh, I just failed one time and then I'm not gonna try again. So you need to learn how to take risks. Travel the world. Just do that thing that you've always wanted to do. Open that YouTube channel that you've been afraid of doing. Learn that skill that you really want to learn. Take risks. Just do what makes you happy, babe. So don't be scared about what someone will think. Just do it for yourself. Do it because life is very short. So we must learn how to do things that makes us happy and not think about what others will feel or what others will think about the decisions that we make. And remember, it doesn't have to make sense to them. All it takes is for it to make sense to you. So, the 15th lesson that I have learned is that we should learn how to be accepting of other people and then learn how to also tolerate them because everyone is different. And just imagine how boring the world would be if everyone did everything the same way. God doesn't make mistakes. There is a reason why He has made us to be so diverse in our thinking, to be so diverse in our culture, in our communication, the way we communicate, the way we think, the way we talk, the way we perceive the world. It's totally different. You might be with someone who eats very loudly or someone who dresses a certain way that isn't your kind of fashion style. So if you see that that person really loves dressing that way and he loves it, then you need to just, learn how to accept them for who they are and not try to change them. As long as you're not deliberately hurting anyone with who they choose to be, then, you just need to learn how to be more loving and to be more receptive and also in acceptance of how people are. Another thing that I've learned is that giving someone all your love is never an assurance that they will love you back. No matter how much you love someone, no matter how many things you're willing to go through for that person, climb the highest mountains, cross the deepest sea, do the extraordinary things, fly to the, outer space, go to Mars, Neptune, Jupiter for that person. If that person doesn't love you, babe, it's nothing. No matter how much you try, you can't force someone to love you. You can choke that person with love. You can be the kindest person ever to exist in the world. You can do everything right. And that person who still choose not to love you. And it's not your fault. And your worth is not dependent on their love. So another thing that I have also learned is that you need to also learn how to appreciate being a kid. Just learn the art of appreciation, the art of being grateful. Even though there were a lot of bad memories attached to my childhood, I had the most fun out of it. I made sure that I lived my best life. So appreciate being a kid. If it's time for you to play, play, because before you know it, time will run quickly. Before you know it, you're already 19. Before you know it, you're already 25. And then life continues to go on and on. And it doesn't see. We are so blindfolded by our problems that we don't even realize how far we've come. Because sitting back now and seeing how far I've come, seeing how I have evolved every year to becoming wiser, to becoming better, to becoming a bold, courageous woman that I am super grateful and I appreciate all of it. If you're a kid watching this video, make sure that you have fun while it lasts because your childhood doesn't last forever. Sometimes I sit back and I'm just like, I wish I could relive this moment because I never knew that one day I will be this big, you know? So you just don't know. Or you just close your eyes and then you open it. It's another chapter. Boom, you can't go back because we cannot backwards time. Just learn how to appreciate every moment. And don't wait till you are done with high school before you start figuring out your life. Don't do that. So my advice for teenagers out there is that if you're in high school, start making preparations about you going to university. Start talking to people who are in higher institutions. Start trying to understand so that you can walk towards it and don't wait till you're done with school, because when I was done with school, I had this problem of what I wanted to study because I really love literature. And then so I ended up not making much research about whether the university I was, trying to enroll into was offering literature, because I didn't really have much knowledge and I was not taught thoroughly on, I was not tutored on how to go about it and then choosing courses and stuff like that. So I ended up going there blindly. Although I am now presently studying linguistics and I'm super glad about it and how things turned out, I was a very confused teenager then. Back then in 2018, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do in school, what I wanted to study, what I wanted to do in my life. And the 19th lesson that I have learned also is that you shouldn't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes you feel like you just want to give up and things that you want are not going according to plan. Trust me, babes, I understand every single thing that you are going through because I have been there too. And it's just something that we have to face for each level of life that we continue to pass. As long as we're humans, we will definitely have to confront and meet with negative and both positive emotions. It's just the way we learn how to deal with it that makes the difference. So do not be hard on yourself. Just try to remind yourself that the negative exists there as a catalyst for change. When I turn 20, I don't have a planned life or whatever, but I just know that I'm just like water. I'm just like the wind. It just takes whatever direction that it wants. And then the more farther it goes, the more life continues to unfold itself. So I just feel like that is how every one of us is. So the more we continue to move further, the more we continue to move further and further and further, then it continues to make sense. So right now, your life might not be figured out. Your life might be a mess. You might be filled with so much uncertainty. You might be filled with so much fear. But then always remember to trust and love yourself. Always remember to trust and follow your intuition. So I just want to end my video on this note that life is a very crazy thing. Just go out, take risks. It's just like the same thing that I've said. I'm just repeating myself. Go out. If there are conferences, that's how you get to meet new people. And try and make much friends. Because those friends that you make are probably the ones who will stick around with you forever. or whatever it is. And I just hope that you have learned something from all the things that I've said. And in case you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up so when I post the next video, you will be notified after you subscribe. So thank you very much, my existing subscribers, and to my new subscribers, and also to my new viewers. I appreciate you and I love you so, so much. And I remain Deborina. I remain Deborah Sati Kesman. I shall see you in my next video. Do have a wonderful day and bye.